And we're here to visit the pioneer woman, Mattie Culver, today on Colorado Martini Living. Isn't that beautiful?
Not too shabby, chick.
Not too shabby. Just north of Old Faithful, in a picturesque picnic area, lies a lone grave of a pioneer woman named Mattie Culver. And I'm going to tell you her story and who she was. Most people that come here to picnic or to enjoy the beautiful creeks don't even know Maddie's there. So I'm here at Mattie Culver's grave. She was also known as Mattie Shipley. That's what the S stands for on her grave. That was her maiden name. She was married to Ellery Culver, and they lived here at the Firehole Hotel, which was a very primitive hotel in our standards, but in the middle of the wilderness here, it was a welcome spot for people on the stagecoach that would come down from Mammoth Springs. So she and her husband ran the hotel. It has since gone, and his site was somewhere over in this area over here. She spent an entire summer here working the hotel with her husband, and then returned to Billings and came back the following winter to be the winter caretakers. But Mattie soon discovered before she came back that she had tuberculosis, better known as consumption in those days, and she got sicker and sicker and sicker. It was very apparent that she was in the third stages of consumption, and by March 2nd she passed, which you can see on her grave. But it was cold and the ground was still hard, and Ellery was just heartbroken. Not to mention they had a baby, Theta, and so Ellery was out here by himself with the baby and his dead wife. So there were military men that were close by, and they came to try to help him, and they brought wine barrels, and they took the wine barrels and they wrapped her body and they put her inside the wine barrels. So they put one wine barrel this way and one wine barrel this way to protect her body from predators. And they waited until the ground was soft enough to bury her right where I stand. So friends that worked here in the area and the military helped him bury Mattie, and she's been here ever since. Ellery is not buried here. He lived many years after that. He took their daughter to family members in Spokane, Washington, where Theta lived until she was 19. So Ellery was just heartbroken. He lost his wife, he lost his daughter, and he ended up going to Los Angeles and dying in a soldier's hospital where they took care of him into his death, and he's buried there now. So Ellery and Maddy were separated in eternity, and hopefully that they're together now. And so many people come to this park and they pay her respects. And you can see she's got the flowers and the flag on her grave, and they take care of the grave. So rest in peace, Maddy. So this is Fountain Flat Drive. We're seeing if this is the picnic area over here.
Gets us on the other side of the creek. This is Fire River. There's Perce.
Here we go. So we're on Fountain Flat Drive, and we're coming into the picnic area, and it's beautiful right next to the creek. So just to my left is the bathrooms. We are going west towards one of the creeks, and the parking lot is behind me, especially the entrance is right behind me. So she's right in the first part of the entrance, and if you just walk towards the creek, she's very close. There's a big meadow out over that way and a road, and here she is, Mattie Culver. So they have these big posts up to keep the buffalo from trampling all over her grave. And as you can see, many people have come to visit her and pay their respects, including the buffalo. And she sits out here by the river, all by herself, separated from Ellery, who is buried in California in a soldier's graveyard in Los Angeles. He was part of GAR, and what GAR is, it's kind of the precursor. It was a precursor to the WFW, Veterans of Foreign Wars. But back in the Civil War days, we hadn't fought a foreign war. Everything had been fought on our ground. And so these were the gentlemen who fought in the Civil War. And it eventually became the WFW. So he's in a soldier's cemetery in Los Angeles. So here's Maddy. Just think, Maddy lived out here when there was no tourists, there was nothing out here but buffalo and these beautiful geysers. What she would have thought. She would have walked around with her baby and just hiked all over the place. She must have just thought this was a wonderful place. That's why they called it Wonderland. So we've been spending the morning with Maddy, checking out the area. Her story is very heart-moving. This is just absolutely beautiful out here, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Real key to doing it's getting out away where everyone's not. As you can see behind us, there's no people.
Get away from all the buses.
Yeah.
So there are people here. It's a lot less that are here. So pack a picnic and come out here and visit Maddy and pay your respects. Make sure to check out the links in the description. They help support this channel. And thank you so much for coming by. You have no idea how much we appreciate it.